here. Well, hey guys, good to see you. Good audience here tonight. And we're rapidly approaching the end of March and we're in spring. That means that the spring, we're thinking about spring Brookline. And so that's only, geez, that's under 2 months away now. So we have a really short run between the event in March, the NEVEE event, and spring Brookline, which is March 16th. So if somehow you didn't actually make the show or you didn't actually find what you're looking for, you're going to have another shot pretty soon. So, in fact, I posted our first table assignment earlier this week. So we have a few people already there. Bruce Phillips, of course, one of the early guys, already lined up to get his usual tables. But so if you're thinking about selling, make sure you start buying a table.
I'm going to make the trip out to Dayton this
Oh, that's
weekend.
right. We're going to
So,
miss you again, Carl.
yeah, I know. I know. It's been some odd reasons.
But that's okay.
But,
You're going for
uh,
something fun.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. I
So
don't know how many more times I'm going to want to do that trip out to Dayton. I haven't done it in about 10 years. So
yeah, that's okay.
I've got a
Take some.
grandchild in St. Louis. So I actually, Bob, I was thinking I might reverse my trip a little bit and go to Kutztown and then go out and see my daughter and then go up to Dayton.
Why
Because
not?
Kutztown is always good.
I know. I got to get there. I got to get there. Got to get there. It won't be this year. I know because I'm just under a bit of a move chaos
Yeah, your
situation.
moving thing is it's gonna take so much time to get settled in. So
I know it's coming hard and coming fast. That's all I can say. And it's like, oh,
Well, that's what you have a wife for, isn't it? To take
so
care of the moving stuff.
she's doing pulling her weight plenty, but but it comes to like I'm packing up my office here, my den office, and it's a bit daunting because I have all these die casts that I'm trying to rebox, which is time consuming. They're all in display cases, but I'm trying to rebox them, make sure I don't damage any of them, put them all back in. And it's like, oh, and now I have to think about the electronics, which I'm just going to move essentially. I'm just going to do when we close on the place, just move it by vehicle over there because there's just no other way to do it. I'm not having the movers touch them because it's just too many details, too many fragile things, and just hard to box. I'm just doing it myself, but it's just I'm thinking, oh, that's a lot, that alone. So, but I'm hanging in there. If I'm not if I'm not in in the mental hospital by by the end of April, then I guess I've made it. So, but at any rate, so in terms of announcements, so that's really I always want to bring up our Brookline announcements. The website's all locked in, so if you want to order tables and so forth, we're good to go. In terms of what's going on um externally in the upcoming events, we are in a little very brief sort of quiet period relative to our Zoom meeting, but because we'll have a next Zoom meeting in April before we have any events. But also I'll call out a few up to like the mid part of April. It's we do in Hampton, New Hampshire, we'll have a Seacoast Amateur Radio Flea Market, and that's from 8 to 12. So that's April 11th. And then on the same day, April 11th, the Vintage Radio and Communications Museum of Connecticut will have a swap meet. This will be their second one. I guess they're sort of the spring one. And that's always, good to see. And if nothing else, even if you don't find enough vendors there, you can kick around the museum, which is really terrific. So you can burn a couple hours easily just going through the terrific museum displays, which some of which are many of which are interactive. And on April 12th, there's the original New England vinyl record and CD show in Dedham. So if you're into vinyl, CDs, and all those related items, it's from 9:30 a.m. to 3, and that's on Sunday the 12th. So those are like I'll call out the upcoming events up to the mid part of the month. So
Well, MIT Flea on the 19th.
yes, 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 it's on there. I'll call good fair point, Steve. You'll certainly get it reannounced on our next Zoom meeting, but yep, that's the kickoff of the MIT Swap Fest. That's the batting leadoff, our first event through that'll end in October. Last show in October. So we we're starting to really now get into the swing of things where good stuff is happening, where there's almost something going on every weekend. Almost. So there'll be only some lull times, and they'll give you time to like, do your spring cleanup and or whatever else to mow the lawn when there's nothing going on. So um did I miss anything? Do any of you gentlemen have anything to add to what I already spoke of that we should know about? Um, okay. Um, actually, let me just give maybe a moment before I sort of kick into the photos. Hey Bob, how did the NJARC meet go this one? Because I don't think we talked much about it when we last met. Because I think it was the mid part of March, wasn't it?
We were well, that was actually just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah. So I think,
And to be honest with you, we were a little nervous about it because the venue that we usually have it at, we do it on Saturdays. And it's been that way forever. I mean, I joined a little over 20 years ago. It was always on a Saturday, but this time the people that have the venue decided, there was full for Saturdays. So our president, Richard Lee, had to move it over to Sunday. It kind of made a few people nervous because Sunday is kind of a tough day to have something like that. But unbelievably, I mean, by a stroke of luck and the grace of God, it was a blazing success. One thing that I did along with the club, the club has a YouTube channel that is it's picking up speed, but it's a very, very slow thing. And we have an archivist now. His name is Matt Reynolds, and he's been doing stuff with our website and putting older videos up. So I decided to do a joint venture between the club and myself. So rather than me taking the monetary value and the hits and all that, I just donated that to the club, and Matt put the video up, and it's gotten over 2,400 views, which is a rather huge number. And I kind of thought it would get big. I figured it might go 800, 1,000 views, but that's a lot of views. But there were also two other YouTube creators that were there at the meet. And plus we were promoting through Instagram and Facebook and everything. So you've got all this cross-pollination going on. It was a flaming success. It was just amazing. I had a great time. I was so busy at my table that I didn't have time to go around and shop, which in a way was kind of a good thing, because after I did the video and watched it, I said, oh, I would have bought that. I would have bought that. I would have bought that. And it didn't happen.
yeah.
So if you go to the NJARC page, if you want to see the video, it's actually a pretty good video. My wife went around with the camera too. She did all the video except for maybe the last little bit that I did. And it ended up being really cool. So it was really, really, and it was very refreshing because to see all these, and a lot of these people were younger people too, to see younger folks and new faces come out. That was just kind of a wonderful thing for us and for the hobby, especially, because we're a bunch of old guys here. We need to get some younger people involved with all this. So
Absolutely.
it was a win-win situation. So, and it was a great time for everybody.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's great to hear. We've been noticing sort of the same thing, Bob, in terms of we're seeing more younger people showing up, and they're walking out with, like, I guess from a relative scale, mostly more modern stuff, but on a relative scale, still like, hi-fis, tube amplifiers, but you see records, LPs, but then some maybe early gaming or some oddball like electronic stuff maybe from the 70s, but they're going in, they're actually, is being picked up. So at least some of the stuff are
Yeah, but
finding new
you
owners.
have to remember stuff from the 70s is now a half a century
Oh,
old. It's like
sure.
we think of it as new stuff. Just like,
Yeah.
just like the car hobby. It's like I'm 32 between the ears, maybe 28, and my cool old Chrysler is 25. But it's like I said to my wife this past weekend, hey, your 71-year-old husband's going out to get in his 65-year-old automobile and drive 75 miles an hour to a car show. How much longer do you think that's going to happen?
Oh, sure.
Like,
Well,
so,
I mean, we did have a couple of guys come up. I think I heard they drove up from Virginia to make our show, which I thought, wow. Now, of
that's
course,
great.
I mean, that's pretty awesome to come drive all the way up there to come to our show. And of course, I got to throw, of course, Joe from Michigan drove, came out, of course, see his girlfriend, but he also was a vendor there. So he's the furthest vendor. So we do have some people, some diehards are coming up to come up and see us. And so it was a real, we're pretty psyched about that. So, um,
It's
like,
important to me, John, to get the younger folks involved. When we had our fall swap meet, there was a gentleman there with his son. His son was probably about 6 or 7, and I had this old Radio Shack AM FM radio on my table, and the kid ran up to it and he looked at it. He started playing with the knobs and he looked really excited about it. And I said, let me just talk to the father. I said, and I think I had like a $20 tag on. I says, listen, $5, it's yours. And the little light that lit the vertical AM FM dial was out. So I kind of did a little finagling and I retrofitted an LED in there. So when you turned the radio on, it would light up the whole dial big and bright. And they showed up at this last swap meet. And I said, how are you doing? And you having a good time? And the kid was, all smiles and everything. That's what we need to do is get that
yeah,
encouragement for these young people, get them, interested in this stuff. Otherwise, our stuff is going to be landfill, and I
absolutely.
hate to see that happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a really fair point because, um, I mean, to circle back on what something that Noah said is, if you say when we were in our 20s going to an electronic show, for us, that means, we could be looking at stuff that say that if we're looking at something that's 20 or 30 years old, we're looking at stuff in the 50s, right? 50s, early 60s. We're like, okay, maybe, and so now if you move it up to today, so it's 2025, if someone's buying something that's from the 70s or 80s, that's still 50 plus years old. So if I roll back 50 from you still be looking at the stuff in the 30s and you look at the big, it's just shifting. But, the big challenge would be how do you find homes for the really early stuff? Can you get enough? And that's going to be the tough part. I expect that's true with any collection. I don't care whether it's radios, cars. I mean, try finding people want to buy a Model T or Model A. Are they going to want that?
Console radios are the hardest thing to move,
Yeah.
and it's a shame because they're
Yeah.
Oh,
beautiful.
absolutely.
I mean, these were just beyond radios. Some of these things were pieces of art, and
Absolutely.
it pains me to see one, destined for the dumpster. I almost want to cry.
It is
But
true.
Bob,
And we have a person here that will openly admit to that.
Yeah. I mean,
I won't mention his name.
right.
hey, Bob, but in general, all brown furniture is out.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a dresser, beautiful dresser, cherry dresser, or anything like that.
Hey, if you've got custom made oak cabinets in your kitchen, you better whitewash them or paint them like
Yep.
gray or blue if you want to
Yep.
sell the house. It's
Yeah.
I
crazy.
remodeled my kitchen 20 years ago. My wife wanted cherry cabinets, and I won't tell you how much money they cost. But I know everybody wants like these neutral colors now, and I think it's just the way to lead the manufacturers into making cheap crap is really what it comes down to.
Yeah,
It's like
that's their
I
excuse.
want I want off white or all these like really weird white, and they're all white,
Great.
grayish or white colors, and it's just no,
I
Yeah.
was
it's
watching
terrible.
Antiques Roadshow the other night, and some lady came in, and she had a sample of a large china set that she had, 24 karat gold, and it was all matching. My wife said those were probably $100 plates each, back just for the dinner plates back in the day. And the appraiser said, well, first of all, the gold means nothing because you can't get it off, so it adds no value. But he appraised her entire collection at about 200 to 300 if she was lucky.
Yeah. That's the thing.
So
You can't, it's less, it's just, we have, good friends of ours. They're British. They have China from their parents and grandparents. So they want to offer, they're in their early 80s
yep,
and they're just asking their kids, would you like any of it? And the answer is, nah, don't want
no,
it.
yep,
So it's,
yep.
it runs the risk of going to an antique shop or a landfill. Hopefully the former, and hope you get what you get, and may not get much for it at all. But it's really sad. And we're looking at, eras, I guess, are slowly but surely disappearing. And that's what we face
Well,
even with this hobby. What do you do with all those, AK, radios and early RCAs, all those ones from the 20s and 30, early 30s? It's going to be
I'm not as worried about those, John,
really.
because think of in the 30s probably how many Atwater Kent Model 10s were tossed out, or I've seen pictures of, as radios moved to super heterodyne, some of the guys on Radio Row and elsewhere would have just put your old radio here, and they'd have a bonfire,
Yeah.
like they do in Cutstown, but all the parts were there. But what it means is those that somehow survive after we're gone are going to be worth, somebody's going to, oh my God,
Yeah,
a
that's true.
plastic Zenith from 1950.
Yeah, that's a good point. It could come to advantage, but boy, you got to find someone who says, I need one of those. But it's true. But at
I don't
any
know
rate,
how well
hey,
this is. This is an AK-10 that was at our swap meet,
okay.
and one of my friends actually sent that. This is probably not a great picture trying to show it in
Yeah, I
the
saw
camera.
that.
There you go. I can spotlight at
Oh,
least.
there it is.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's
he
pretty
already
nice.
refinished the wood.
Yeah.
I had a Spam in 018 that I didn't have that wasn't very good.
I thought what you were holding up there in your hand was like, eventually this is going to be an AK-10, and when you had your phone
Yeah.
in your hand.
Yeah, right. It'll be like, an iPhone 3, or I mean, or
But to
iPhone.
back up Carl's statement, all right, what he's saying, 5 years ago that thing would have been $1,200, $1,300. Now I
Right.
didn't show you a before picture.
Yeah.
Now what my friend paid for it, I probably shouldn't be doing this because it's going to go on YouTube. I'm going to do it anyway. That sold after some negotiating with the vendor. My friend got that for $525.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you saw the woodwork on there, and he had to just do some minor work to the radio to get it working.
Yeah.
So it just, I wouldn't mind having a 9 or a 10 breadboard on my shelf. Those are beautiful sets.
Well, I know we really will have hit old age when at NEVEE someone has a table with blackberries on them. The original BlackBerry that had the side belt mount and the little screen readout.
I don't know. That's true. It's coming, Carl. It's coming.
My last job, my boss loved his BlackBerry, and he wouldn't let go of it until I think his supervisor one day, just in a casual lunch discussion, said, "You got to lose that thing and get a real phone."
Yeah. Well, once the iPhone really took
Wouldn't let go of
hold.
that BlackBerry, man. He loved that thing because it could text. You remember I had the keyboard to come out and
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some.
What are you guys talking about? I'm sorry.
By the way,
let
John
me put this away.
Square is sponsored by AARP. Go ahead, John.
No. I just found this is sitting in my drawer next to some old. This is my old phone drawer over here, and there's a.
You gotta put the antenna up.
Yeah, hold on a second. I also got a Palm. Here's a Palm.
Ah,
Oh my God! Yes.
How cool. By the way, I've got the color version.
Yeah, I even
It's in pristine shape and it works.
I think I have somewhere. I thought I had the Scribe, whatever you call that.
Yeah, I know you're talking about the.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah,
it has a nice, so cleverly.
Remember, if you stand near a person who also has a Palm, you can send them your information.
Yes.
Yeah, it could. Bluetooth. It sort of had a Bluetooth style communication path between two devices.
Yeah. There was in the town I lived in Connecticut, small town. There was an old curmudgeon. He was really a good character, and he told me one day we were talking. He said, "Oh, I got a new phone." Well, what he would do is he'd get a phone until finally it was too old or the battery had crapped out or whatever. he'd go down to the town hall. He was a former first selectman. He'd go down to the town hall and they had a bin there where you could turn in your phones because of the batteries from the public. And he'd go through them till he found one with a charger that he liked. And he'd just swap out the SIM card. And he said, I had a newer phone for me for a period of time.
Yeah.
Well,
But those Palm Pilots, I used to work for 3Com, and um, they bought US Robotics, where from whence the Palm Pilot originated.
oh,
And so we could get employee discount on those. I was not working on any of those products, but it was, so I had a couple of them. I got rid of my original. No, I might have kept it, but I have the original ones, very similar to one John had, but the last ones, maybe not the last one, they had a color, it was actually color screen and so forth.
okay.
So it's actually pretty cool. And I still have it. It works. I haven't charged it up in a while, but I was amazed how nice it works. And it's a really nicely engineered. This is, the 90s.
Yeah.
Nicely engineered device and really solid. I mean, it's like, wow, it's really nicely done. But so yeah, yeah. Well, we'll start seeing those at the shows. But um, well, hey, you know what? Why don't I start showing some pictures? While I'm here. Let me let's see. Hopefully I am sharing. There we go. Hopefully I'm sharing what you should be seeing. Let me know if you guys can see or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
who's
I
that
can
scary
see-
guy in the background with the black jacket?
Oh yeah. Who is that
mighty
squirrely
scary.
Who's that squirrely guy? I
I-
don't know. Let me see if I can whoops. I don't know why it's not expanding, but
Oh, just as well.
What about
usually they can
the-
do.
What about the icon all the way up to the upper right? Is that just the sizing thing next to the plus?
Check config.sys,
Because usually
maybe autoexec.bat.
that's odd, because normally now I'm sharing directly out
You're
of
sharing your desktop. You should share the app, right?
well, I'm sharing the desktop. And normally I can, when I'm walking through the pictures, I can expand them, just go up. But can you guys see it okay, the pictures? It's just that I'm surprised I can't do that. I thought I was able to do it with Google before.
I could see it all right, John. As long as
But
everybody
normally
else
I
is
can,
right.
zoom in just from the
But if you go to full screen in the upper right there, that might help.
Oh no, that's just okay.
Oh,
Maybe the full screen thing under the left, the green dot. It usually is full screen on a Mac. That one there.
yeah. There we go.
Oh,
There
that
we go.
worked. There we go. I guess that was the solution because but I've never had to do that before. How curious. Hey, thanks, Bob. Thanks, guys, for
Mhm.
throwing some thoughts there. But then there's Carol Conklin. He's on our email sometimes. That was Carol, and of course we know this sort of this cagey guy coming in here, But oh, now it's not stopping. It's not doing that as well again. Wow, that's weird.
That's a nice looking building.
Yeah, this is the Castleton Banquet Center. So it's people have weddings and other things. This is I think our third event there, I think.
Mm.
And I mean the prices are increasing there, but it's so hard to find a place that hits most of the buttons, checks most of the boxes. The only thing that they don't have is they don't have any concessions. They would do it, but it would be something like $13 a head, and we can't justify as a club, nor can we really afford it. So we just people bring it, if they're hungry, Bruce Phillips is kind enough. He always has candy, donuts, all out. He buys it on his own. He just, leaves it out for people to enjoy. So if you're desperate, you'll grab a donut. I know just to bring my own food, but that's the way it is. But yeah, that's the check-in area. Um, ah, okay. Here's one of our vendors. He was selling a lot of great looking clocks. Um,
Wow.
they were they had not only Telechroms, some really other really nice ones. I said, boy, um, I really wanted to, I really wanted to bring some home, but it was just like I was so busy with looking at other things that all I could do was circle back, and he did pretty well. A lot of people bought some nice pieces from him. So
Yeah, his stuff went fast. He was selling cheap. He had some
yeah.
nice test equipment too.
Oh, sure. Did you come home with some stuff, Steve?
Only one thing from him. I
I
wish I
see
had gotten more.
I see a couple BP10 RCA sitting on a table there too.
And
Yeah.
the ARBE power supply.
Yes.
Nice general
Wow.
radio counter. It had all the digits, 7-digit counter.
Yeah. I mean, he had some really cool stuff. I got there early and I said, and there was one, I forgot there was one clock I was seriously thinking about. I said, I'll circle back. And I circled back. I think it was gone. So that was that. You snooze, you lose, as the old saying goes. But
Hmm.
I really had my target anyway in mind. I was certainly emptying my wallet enough, as it were. So, that's okay. Plus, ultimately, I'm going to have to move it. So the less I buy, the better for now. Um, oh, here was somebody had this really cool, clear plexiglass early radio.
That's a prison 3 dialer. I never saw one of them before.
So
Is that
plexiglass or
plexiglass or glass?
I'm not sure. I actually,
Did they have plexiglass back in those days?
I don't know. I almost want to say this is glass.
It almost
Yeah,
looks
I
like
think
real
that's glass.
glass.
It looks like it because notice the imprint there because the plexiglass, I don't think you can do quite neat things, whereas this looks like it was.
That's real glass because I can see
Yeah.
the green on the sides
Yeah,
of the.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking, the edges. So that tells me it's glass. So I think
Yeah, it's real glass. Wow.
it's real heavy.
Well, I was one lucky prisoner to have that radio.
Yeah, 950, but
I wonder if you went home with it. With that
Yeah,
price.
right.
yeah, good point.
I'd be nervous about having a radio like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh God. Ugh, yeah, that's for sure. Glass. I'd be afraid just trying to walk out to
I'd
the
be
car
worried
with it.
about my cats jumping on that thing.
Yeah. If it's tempered glass, you feel better. But if it's not, which probably that era tempered glass didn't exist, um, I don't think when it actually I can't swear to it, but I don't think that existed. If it's period glass. If it's more recent, okay, it could be tempered. Um, but yeah, that was pretty cool.
Now, it doesn't look like the top is hinged, so I guess the whole thing lifts
Yeah, must left a lift
off. Yeah.
off.
Can you imagine if you broke that top piece? I mean, you'd never be able to. Well,
Well,
some people could afford to get it replaced, I guess.
well, the thing is, how do you get, the images like
etched. Yeah.
etched in
Yeah.
with all those etchings there? How would you do that? I mean, I guess if you had a photograph, maybe get someone try to replicate it, but it'd be tough.
You
It'd be
might be able to
expensive.
do that with a modern laser tool.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool though. There was and I think I've said, oh, here's a nice Fada
That's pretty nice.
790. 790. I have the same radio, but in the dark cabinet. So like it's like a burgundy brown. But these look terrific in the cream as well. And
I think
uh,
that's plastic on plastic. I think that's molded that color.
yeah, yeah, it is. And they're just
It's pretty.
it's a I know I've said this before, but the risk of saying it again is I love that era radio, the late 40s, because a lot of the designs carried over from the 30s. So it still looks very Art Deco. It's got the sunburst style. Look at that nice classy metal grill. Even the cabinet design, still a lot of carryovers.
The sunburst AM FM dial is just pops.
It does, and it looks terrific, even more terrific, I would argue, with the darker cabinet because it offers more contrast. And it's just and with the metal similar colored gold metal grill, it just really pops. It's a very attractive radio. In fact, that's probably one of my favorite, you know, let's say post-war up to 1950 radios. That's just, and I'm so happy I have one because it's just really nice.
That's in John Cummer's neck of the woods, Long Island City, right, John?
Yes, yes.
I
Hold on.
think, and I think that as I recall, Fonda started out. I think they had probably multiple factories, but were, I think they were in Elmhurst or something like that initially. Because I seem to
Oh,
remember looking up they had a factory because I felt, wow, that was right down the street from my family lived.
I think they were in Queens. They had a
Yeah,
number of locations, and they had sometimes it was Fada, but then there was the Andrea Company, which is the same thing, and they
yeah.
were making TVs and
Oh yeah.
everything. And but no, they were based in Queens for many years, and just a weird story. About 5 years ago, someone bought a house 2 houses down from me, and the guy is of the Fada family. And I
Wow.
spoke to him, and he had a couple of pieces there from his grandfather or something. And but anyway, it's just a weird thing to have them move in 2 houses down from me. But
Wow. That
and
is cool.
it's a nice radio, and I always liked how they molded in the name to the
Yeah, exactly. Right in the vertical bar. Right. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
it's
very
very cool.
classic. Yeah. Just this is just like that's why, it's you get the win too. You get AM and you get FM, modern FM. So you get like the functionality as well as the aesthetics. So I think it's a real top, home run radio, my view.
Lot easier to do FM alignment on that too than it is like a stereo receiver.
Yeah, no question. Oh, Howard actually had me stop by. He stopped by and wanted to show me this. This is the Telecron clock, but look how it's interesting is the that it's in units of 100. It's you can see it's a 24-hour clock, but we were trying to figure out why was that used? What was the purpose of using units of measurement on the outer dial?
I think
Um,
that might be a timer
I, it
of
looks like
sort.
almost a railroad piece to me, something for a railroad guy.
That's entirely
Yeah,
possible.
it's not a clock. It says total minutes down on the bottom.
yeah, maybe it
So
is a
Oh, that's
timer.
what that
Maybe,
says. Okay.
maybe it really is a timer.
I think it is, yeah.
But I've never seen one before. I never knew Telecron actually made one, but it's obviously a timer that's obviously runs off of, AC because that's the claim to fame. You can see the plug, in the background. Um, but they must have, and you look to the Telecron website, and I don't remember ever seeing one. So this is really unusual, probably pretty rare.
But
Um,
why would you break it into hundreds?
maybe it
Maybe it
really
was
is
for
a stop.
sporting things, for sports.
Maybe it's because I'm trying to think. There's minutes, and yeah, there's no second hand, so I don't.
There's no hours, right? So it's
Yeah,
24 total minutes.
Oh, you
And
know what? But the 24 scale is minutes.
yeah. So 24 minutes, and then and 100
I
something.
think Bob is right. I'll bet it's a sporting item because you think of like when people do ski racing and
Yeah,
so forth,
yeah,
it's
maybe.
3 minutes. But yeah, if it's three
Yeah,
minutes, 20 seconds and point one oh four or something.
tenths and hundredths of a minute, huh?
yeah. That makes sense actually, because the 24 is very easy to think it's hours, but no, it says total minutes on the face. So that probably makes sense that the closest thing we could agree probably make sense or come up is a timer for measuring events. And, it must have a start and stop so you can measure something. And I would
It's that
assume there's no
button at the
reason.
bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. But Howard wanted to show it to me because he wasn't selling, but he said, look what I have. And I said, wow, I've never seen one of these before. And so that's him holding it up. I just want to take a photo and say, I've never seen one. I may never see one again. Um, but that's really cool. Ah, it's a nice Bendix. Nice looking radio. I think that was Tom Scarpelli's table, so it means it was restored because it says new caps, new line, cord, $50, which
Fair.
I think is
Good
more than
radio.
fair for a very aesthetically pleasing radio. Nice condition, needs very little. It certainly wouldn't have to do anything much. You had really could just plug and play.
And
Nice
covers
looking.
the police band.
Yeah, you know, really, really attractive. Yeah, I love the dial face on those too.
Yeah.
Um, that was just I try to take some pictures of just people in there just to show, it's nice to have a human element, but there's some I might have some better pictures, some of the stuff that gentleman was selling, but he had a random things of players and some Beatles thing and so forth. But we'll get some better pictures later, I think, around his area.
I think he's saying to that guy, I have a console at home that's this big. Do you want to buy it?
And by the way, there are consoles. I'll show photos. But speaking of consoles, this is the console area. Speaking of which,
Oh, there it is.
let's see, one, two, three, four. There were about 4 or 5 consoles.
Yeah, I'll buy it.
There we go. There we go. Bill was like, he's like,
Ready to pounce.
ready to pounce. Remember, Bill,
The question, John, seriously, is did they sell? Did any of them go?
I'm not sure. I think, yes. I remember at least 1 or 2 had sold mark signs on them. I can't.
I think the one on the right sold.
Okay.
I don't know about the middle one, but I think the one on the right sold.
Okay.
At least it was out by the foyer, so I think it's
That
sold.
is unusual.
And
Yeah.
not in your car, Bill?
No, my wife was with me.
Oh.
Yes, I saw that. And you had your hard hat on, so you're ready.
Her
Instead,
insistence.
instead I got a big honking table model, the biggest one I could find. So.
There you go. Exactly.
So
I love the
about that.
fact. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Andy.
I have a quick question. If you look right in the middle of the photo, you can see the grill cloth has a little bit of damage to it. Not bad. I'm wondering, is it possible to repair that, or would one have to replace it, or just leave it alone and enjoy it?
Yes to all.
Yeah.
Is it
There's
possible
no
to
answer
repair
to that. I mean,
Fixing it, repairing it is be really tough. You're pretty
Okay.
much down the 2 roads of, especially with that, you see the tears, pretty much on either replacement or live with it. And
I
it's
would just be
too awful.
curious. I would be curious where the reproducer is. My guess would be it might be behind the grill cloth. But I've seen a lot of these players that actually you control the volume
With
of
doors.
the record by the doors, where
Yeah.
the doors are closed or open. That was your volume control.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
I had one for my grandmother, and that was with a Spike Lee record on it.
Oh, jeez.
On the console like that, I'm like, wow.
Well, it was, yes, it was like that in the sense, it was the wind
So,
up.
so you had a Cocktails for Two on 78 that you listened to over and over and over again.
That's funny. Wow.
If you don't know the song, just look up under Spike Jones and play that, and
Okay.
you'll see what I'm talking about.
There'll be a better there. I have some more photos of these consoles coming up anyway, but there is a Fisher lurking behind this, which is actually a neat little unit because it's probably from the mid '60s. It's a tube unit, but kind of neat, and I think that's sold as well. That was looking into one of them. I'll let you know. I think I took the picture first before the front, so you'll have to stay tuned. And by the way, I want to say that these pictures I'm going through are a combination of my own and Joe Devonshire, because Joe was there with his digital camera taking a ton of photos. And so the lighting conditions were a little bit tough for cameras, oddly enough, in this place. And actually, my iPhone does a pretty good job, and so does my Olympus, that the I don't need to use the flash on my iPhone, and because iPhones are very forgiving in average light or dimmer light conditions. But my Olympus has a good flash and does a nice job as well. So between the two, I usually get a pretty good set. And Joe took some terrific photos, but he was sort of frustrated by a few that's like, wow, the light condition just came out and the picture's like, he was disappointed in them. But so I threw out a few duplicates, but you might see some duplicates between us. And I was like, I figured I'll take more time to weed them out and just, store them anyway. But
If you look at that center tube,
I'll back it up.
Oh,
Sorry about that. Beep, beep. There you go.
that's a Sylvania Greenleaf.
Oh, good call.
Yeah,
And there's another one
that's
over to the left, I think.
yeah,
I've
that's
got
their
one of those,
logo.
and
That's their
it's an NOS 10. So I'm wondering if that's a 10.
Let's see if I don't know if I can zoom. I don't know if I'll be able to tell
Yeah,
from.
I don't think not gonna be able to zoom in enough to. If so, the radio's worth what he was asking.
Yeah, probably. Um, yeah,
Yeah, that's a Sylvania Greenleaf.
yeah, there we go. That's beautiful. It's good catch there.
The box is gorgeous for that thing.
That's pretty cool. There's Bob, and there is Ralph Calitri, and Ralph is our silent auction coordinator. So he's the one collecting all the radios and storing them, getting them ready, doing maybe some minor repairs or preparation. And he's doing that all, under the covers so that, we really appreciate all that he's done in that regard. And of course, Bob, our president, and Bob brought over a bunch. He got Fran Holly, Bill's wife, brought a bunch of boxes over for us to. She's had tables for the past few years, and she just gave the rest of us to the club to sell and whatever proceeds we could get. So we had a nice, shall we say, bargain table of very reasonably priced items. And in fact, they threw a couple items on there just to get the club some money, and they disappeared quickly. Um, so that was very nice. But I always, make sure we get some people in there. You can see there's a lake, by the way, in the background. There is a lake. You see it's, of course, frozen with all the snow on there, but it's really quite a pretty backdrop. And it was starting to snow too on top of it. We had like this sort of a quick blast of snow for like maybe 20 minutes. It didn't really accumulate and the sun came out, but that was that. Oh yeah, here was the guy that picked the earlier picture of the two gentlemen. That was his he had a nice amplifier, tube amplifier there. And the Beatles complete scores. Um,
That's cool.
this is one of Tom's, I think is one of Tom's, yeah, Tom Scarpelli's new batteries. This is obviously a battery radio with a clock, and Arvin.
That's an Arvin.
That's real early 60s looking.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like the gold face with the burgundy
Yep.
case, the tan, all nicely color matched. You can't complain with that, right? And I forget whose table this was.
That's a nice Denon receiver, and I can't see what speakers are on that.
Actually, I think that's Yamaha there, Bob. But
Is that what that is?
yeah, I
Okay.
think,
Oh,
yeah,
it is a Yamaha. I'm sorry.
that's all right. No problem.
Sony speakers.
Sony speakers. So it's all in the Japanese family. So that's
There you go.
$30. I mean, hey, if it works, which obviously it powers up and is doing stuff, hey, you guys have a decent, stereo and you're off to the races. I mean, really.
That's incredible how much that looks like those 90s Denons, mid 90s Denons. That's so close.
Yeah, there is a lot. It's really hard to see when those black cases, everything sort of blends in. You have to kind of stare at them. That's one thing I like about the the era probably right around, they started doing that in the late 70s. Before that era, I liked the wood body with the or silver. It's easier to make the distinction, but black, everything just sort of just blends in. It's so hard to see other than giving good contrast for the lights.
Yeah, it's like owning a black car in the middle of July.
Yeah.
And the air conditioner's broke.
Yeah. Truth. True indeed. Oh, this was one of Tom's TVs. It's one of those clear. It's
a prison TV.
Yeah.
We're gonna put that next to that other radio, the glass one.
Yes, indeed. This is of course a solid state TV, but still it's pretty cool.
That's neat.
And there's one of the consoles.
Oh, that's RCA 10T, I think. I might be wrong. I know it's RCA. Just don't remember the model. Maybe Greg knows.
That's nice grill cloth on that, huh?
Yeah, it's a nice shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's at least a 10 tube.
That was one of their better consoles. High tube count, like Greg said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice looking Dolphin. I mean, it's just really nice.
That's vernier tuning on it, 2-speed tuning.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
I know
nice
somebody.
tuning.
I know somebody that has the 9 tube version of that. It's not quite as elaborate as this one, but it's a nice radio nonetheless.
I had the communications receiver version.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did
The,
make
the
them.
175. I
Yeah.
rebuilt that. That was a nice radio.
That's like an AR 175.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had all brown knobs, supposed to have black, so I had my way with a magic marker. And it looked fine. One of those great big black magic markers.
Cool. Yeah, that was a yeah, I don't know if that one actually sold or not, but because I didn't even know what the asking price was, but it was there in the console section, and I hope somebody found a home for it. But yeah, what a neat radio.
Hmm.
Let's see where.
Would look good in that new house.
I won't survive. I won't survive. Believe me, there's too many nice things there. Oh, here was the I think the one that I think Bill said might have sold. Um,
Yeah, can we see what the make is?
yeah, the Colts.
Oh, Colster.
Oh,
Yeah.
Colster. Okay.
Yeah.
How much does that weigh, do you think?
No,
It must weigh a ton. It just,
yeah, that feels like, that feels like, traction level,
mm.
yeah. But
Well, there
beautiful.
weren't big transformers in it.
Mm.
It's probably unwieldy though, John.
Oh
A lot
gosh,
of wood.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see it's got the nice, it still has the stickers there, so that was pretty cool,
What's it? Can we see what that one says down the bottom there? No, right below the hinge.
Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can get in there.
You went in once and it almost looked
Oh, come on.
that's all right.
I tried to bring it in with my
There we
Mac.
go.
I
There we
couldn't get
go.
it.
I'm at full max.
Oh, it says read the instruction book.
Look,
Colster Manufacturing Company. Can't
Boy,
make that
you're
out.
good, Bob.
This radio,
Something.
not.
My eyes are still good. Everything else is going to pot though.
You're doing all right.
At least it doesn't say made in Japan on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the Fisher I was mentioning about.
Oh, that's a pretty cabinet.
Yeah, that's
You're
really
right,
neat.
John.
That was a neat radio, and that did sell. In fact, I actually looked at it longingly, but that's as far as I could go.
I could see you leaning against it, John, with a martini in one hand and a cigarette in the other.
And Bill Shatner on the record player.
Yeah,
Right.
there you go. I love it.
And your bride lounging in a mini skirt.
There you go. I could probably, if I had this space, it was a pretty nice, and I believe it works, all around, but I can't swear to it. But good sized speakers. I mean, it's actually a pretty neat unit.
Would that have fit in the back seat of the Audi?
No chance. No chance. Boy, that's perhaps a good thing about not owning a big car. I got that as you saying, well, I have no chance of getting it home.
Tie it on the roof.
Yeah. It's bigger than the car. There was just a panoramic. This is probably, I don't know what time it was. I'm gonna guess maybe 10, 11 o'clock.
That's a nice looking room. I mean,
Is
all
it?
it's missing is Lawrence Welk and a bubble machine.
Oh man, if we had background entertainment like that, wow, that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's a great venue. I mean, like I said, nothing's perfect. Not every place is going to check off every single box on there, but we've been discussing it internally. Bob's been, I know looking to, they're going to be increasing the fee again, but we're still looking that we're still on the black even with the increased fee. So, you know, everyone seems to like it. Sure, you get a couple of grumbles about, geez, we wish there were food here. And I agree. When we were at the Courtyard Marriott, it was great because they have a little breakfast. They have for the hotel guests, they have a place to eat. And I could get a coffee and, a quick bite without having to bring my own. But, you know, this is a good location. It's right off the expressway. It's a reasonable location. It hits most of the boxes. And so I doubt we're going to make any changes.
We just did when we did our thing, John. We have a couple of volunteers. Actually, it's a dating couple. It's kind of interesting, and we pick up the club picks up bagels and coffee, and they serve bagels and coffee to the people that come.
Yep.
And I think that helps out a lot, especially for those who might have had a rough evening the night before, or for those who like to indulge.
They won't let us do that.
Yeah, they won't. We can't. You can bring privateer stuff. You can bring your own stuff. Like if you stopped at a Dunkin' Donuts or whatever equivalent and brought your own coffee and donut or whatever, but we can't have concessions there, because
we can't even have trucks.
Yeah, it is annoying, that restriction, because they would want us to ante up because that's where they host like weddings and other events. So of course they make their money on catering. And I think, like I said, the price I heard from Bob, I thought was something like $13 a head for them to actually cater. And if you do the numbers, it's way out of
boggling. If you get like 100 people coming through the door, that's crazy money.
Yeah. And hey, we're hearing this from the treasurer, then the answer would be a hell no.
And not just no, hell no.
Oh, he's a cheap bastard.
There we go. But that's why we're in good, sound financial shape. We got Carl at the helm, so.
Has anyone asked if we could give food away? I know Bruce kind of does that.
Yeah, that's what Bruce is doing.
Well, that's what Bruce does. Yeah. I mean, people go to Dunkin' Donuts and decide that they might want to eat 24 donuts during the show and leave them open on the table.
Yeah.
So
that's what Bruce is. He just put little single paper plates and would put the donuts on each one, and just people come and get them and throw some money in the jar if you feel guilty, but it wasn't going to make you. It wasn't policing.
You could always have the vendors put signs on their table: free donut with every purchase.
There you go. There you go.
That would suffice.
The donut's $75. The radio is free.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. That's even better.
These awesome. $3 carbon resistors here.
I love it. Buy a donut, get a radio free. Some of the high-end stuff, $500 on that donut, but it's a really good donut.
So that donut's in stereo.
Well, you could buy two. You put one on each ear.
And that donut has 3 number 10 tubes in it.
Oh man. There was just another shot of the Chuck and Elaine, Larry's wife, manning the tables, and there's Carol checking in and others. There's the side of
the prison TV.
Prison TV, yeah, that Tom Scarpelli was selling. I think it was like $45 he was asking. It was pretty cool, and it works. He was playing a Patriots game, an old Patriots game on there, just from it was fun to see.
What kind of TV?
I'm not sure. Let's see.
No, what do you described it as a something TV?
Well,
prison TV. It's clear molded plastic, so that when they bring it through the door of the jail, it doesn't have any marijuana or guns or knives or weapons in it.
Or a hacksaw.
There we go.
They made radios like that too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Prison. I wonder if that's what I wonder what prison this comes from. I don't. I was.
And how did Tom get it?
Wow, there we go. I was. It's funny. I had the misapprehension, the misthought that it was a like a sales demo
Yeah.
model you can get, to show, hey, look at the technology, and you can see it in the see-through cabinet. But I guess the prison TV makes more sense.
It's
Well,
kind
now
of
it
fun
makes
that
you
you could
wonder
look
about
at
some of those clear radios you see from time, maybe the glass radio.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Early prison.
see the cool factor is that you can look through that cabinet and you can see like the transformer for the yoke and all that stuff inside.
Yeah.
It's just kind of neat.
Yeah, it is. I kind of like seeing it. I thought, oh, it must be like, if I were a TV store, the manufacturer might give you one to show, show and tell you
Yeah.
who's coming in. But maybe it was, and maybe they made those same ones for the prison, so they could use it, kill two birds with one stone, and sell, it's you sort of get your return on investment, because you can probably write off the models, the demos for your stores, and then of course the prisoners, you probably get a deal on selling them. But yeah, I'll have to ask if I see Tom next. I'll have to see whether he's wearing black and white stripes underneath it.
Yeah. Or if he has a GPS leg.
Yeah, yeah,
Thing
yeah,
strapped to his ankle.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Oh, guys, I have to tell you a story.
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
It's completely unrelated to this, but I was on a federal grand jury for 3 years.
Okay.
3
years. Oh,
yeah, and we were the organized crime grand jury,
oh boy.
and a lot of it was drugs. And one of the things that we put down was a gang in Boston. The guy behind it wanted to be like a rap music entrepreneur, right? So he's using the drug proceeds to fund this rap music label. And so he put out these YouTube videos of his buds, right, to promote his music. And so there's this YouTube video they showed us as grand jury evidence, right? A bunch of guys, right? They're flashing guns with the full auto switch on them, right? So,
Sure.
Federal sentence there, right?
Yeah.
Flashing money, flashing drugs, and some guy with an ankle bracelet.
Hey, Steve, when
They put this on YouTube. And so, the prosecutor's like, well, there's this, there's that, there's the other, bring in the ATF guy that says, oh yes, that's a full auto switch on that handgun. Oh, it's like, oh my God, what were these guys thinking?
Steve, you said you were on 3 years. You mean literally you left your job for 3 years and
No. Grand jury is like federal grand jury is 1 day a week.
Okay.
But you don't, and not necessarily every week.
And it's not the same case.
We got most weeks.
Wow.
Is it the same case? Or?
No. Hundreds of cases.
Oh, cool.
So
and because we were there most weeks, we'd get stuff from other juries, and they wouldn't call them in. They'd just like stick us with it.
All right. So are you in witness protection now, or
no? No, and I just committed a federal crime by telling you this, but
no, really.
Well, don't worry.
Apparently,
Nobody's gonna watch
Scarpelli knows
YouTube on
someone
this
who can
channel.
help you out.
yeah, it was years ago, so don't worry about it.
On YouTube, no.
That's funny.
Oh.
Well, it was like the modern Three Stooges. And by the way, I have to do this. That should have been. I had to give you the Law and Order, sound meme.
That's absolutely hilarious. That's a great story.
That's really funny. Easy pickings, but
Yeah.
Phase linear.
yeah, look at that. It's a nice Sony. Yeah, there was
Oh, D-mod for a quad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was pretty. I have no idea how much that was, though. I don't remember. I don't see a price on there. But that was pretty. That was unusual. Caught my eye.
And that Sony is a quad decoder amplifier.
It would be pretty cool with the speakers to have quadrified.
Wow.
Would be pretty cool. I wonder if that's sold, especially, some of the younger crowd. I wonder if it's like, hey, quadraphonic, man. Hey, my dad had one of those early quads, one of the lower end ones, but still.
I'll tell you, in 1973, you weren't listening to radio unless you had one of them. They were just so popular. It was crazy, and they went for big money back in them days.
Yeah, my dad bought a more modest version. He bought a Panasonic, which was actually pretty decent. Had great sound for I thought it did. Uh,
Mm,
but here's a Brunswick, I think this is.
yes, I think
It's
Um,
a
that's
small
that.
Brunswick, small
yeah,
compared to
well,
the other ones.
I think that's got a turntable in it. It looks like.
yeah, right there. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, that I think that might have sold. That was in the console department. Um,
That's kind of cool. That's a little end table radio phono.
yeah, it's like almost like a leather top or something. It looks almost like leathery. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I thought it was actually quite nifty looking because I've never seen one of those before in that particular form factor. So I thought, and plus the doors close up. I said, wow, this is pretty nice. And in
Mm.
a pretty nice shape cosmetically. Oh yeah, back to the Fisher. I apologize. I should have, sometimes I take a photo, take another one, roll back to the other one. Now I bounce all over the place. But anyways, more picture of the Fisher.
Mm.
Who was selling that?
I don't know. I can't remember who it was because it was deposited there. And I said, "Oh, look at this," and had a closer, took some photos of it. And I can't remember who it was. Actually, I do remember talking to somebody, but I cannot remember who it was. I'm drawing a
Um,
blank.
when I was leaving, carrying stuff out, they were trying to get that out the side door, and I told them if they needed a manual, because I own FisherConsoles.com. And
Ah,
I said I have a couple of hundred manuals for free downloading on the website. And I said, just check to see if you need the manual. Most likely I'll have either the service or the owner's manual for that thing for free downloading. And I told them
nice.
to check it out. But that's a later one. That's not a tube one. That's about
Yeah. Oh, it's
19,
not? Okay.
no, that's not tube. That's probably 1968 or so,
Okay.
1969. And I wasn't sure. It may be a Garrard turntable, but I'm not quite
Okay.
sure on that one. And yeah, they stopped making the tube ones, the tube Fisher consoles about 1964, 65. And the tube ones are the valuable ones. And
Got
anyway,
it.
but they made great. Again, in 1964, the top of the line Fisher console tube one listed for $2,500.
Okay. That's
Woo!
healthy.
Now you could have bought a car, or
Yeah, no
money.
question. And a decent one, not a crappy one.
In fact, in 1960, the top of the line Fisher console was about $2,500. So anyway, but they were famous for that. Their thoughts, their marketing was let's make fewer items at a higher price, whereas RCA wanted to have everyone on the beach carrying one of their radios. So they were selling stuff for large quantity stuff. Fisher was the opposite in marketing.
Interesting. Very interesting.
There's a bunch of Art Deco radios, huh?
Yeah, no, you got some nice, you know, if I can,
I don't recognize all of them. Well, the Zenith is pretty obvious, but I'm not sure what that is on the right of there.
I'm not sure, is that a Belmont or a
Yeah, they look
Coronado?
like Belmonts, some of them. Yeah, very similar.
Well, the one in the center is a Coronado,
Yeah, that's for sure. It's
but
right there.
Belmont made a similar radio to that.
Yeah, they look so close. I don't
I'm
know if
not
I can,
really sure what the brown Bakelite one is on that center shelf, though.
is
Yeah, I
that,
couldn't
oh,
find a tag on there or what.
That's an
Um,
interesting dial.
yeah,
and
It is.
it looks
It is.
almost like,
it could be an Admiral, by the way. It looks very similar to some of the Admiral stuff.
I'm trying to see if there's a label. I'm at
On the
Oh,
Master.
it's
dial,
I think all right, since you brought it in, that's a True Tone.
True Tone, yes, it is True Tone. because Airline made a similar looking radio, but I think Airline had the tuning eye because I love that sort of vertical
Yes.
dial face, but that's really quite nice. And actually, as we're looking, is it like $50? So I see that as 60. 60, I think it says. Not ridiculous because you don't really see those very often. And if it's restored, it's not unreasonable at all.
That's a
What are
fair
all the
number for that
knobs
radio.
there?
Sorry?
There's a lot of the push switches or
Yeah. So it looks all there. Like it looks like it's all there.
Mhm.
So I thought, and it's probably, I think this guy restores radios too. So I think this should have been restored. So you're walking into hopefully, a really, and then let's see, what do I see down at the bottom? I see the name. Is that Silvertone? Or is that?
I can't make that out.
No, I don't think it says Silvertone. No.
RK, I think it says. ARKAY.
Oh, yeah, I think you are right. I might have a better photo of it. In fact, I think I do, Bob. We're probably stressing ourselves unnecessarily. I think I took some photos later.
sure, tell us now.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
this is fun.
That's right. Yeah. See, how close can you look at things?
Radio trivia.
Yes.
There's an Airline.
Mm.
That's a nice looking
That was
radio. I
pretty
like that.
cool. Yeah, it was only $45. I thought, geez, I was half tempted, but I was like,
Does that say works?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
WKS.
WKS, so I believe that. So hey, it's I'm sure it's solid state. So it's probably like I'm gonna guess this is probably mid 60s would be my guess.
Aeronautical, marine,
Yeah.
amateur radio.
I have a few Airline from the early 70s. I think I've shown before that one is my daily driver and it has the full multi-channel. It's got air, police, it's this nice colorful band. It's actually more attractive dial face than this one. Not that this is unattractive, but I think they're terrific little radios. Yes, they're made in Taiwan. Yeah, because they moved production. They went from Japan in the 60s and moved over to Taiwan. But the quality is really good on these. This is not junk Taiwan. This is actually good quality. And mine looks brand new and it's 50 plus years old.
If I'm looking at this correctly, it only has on the band switch 2 bands.
Yep.
So
Yeah, it's a
all
little
that
misleading.
information down below is just for
Searching a station.
understanding what's in the frequencies above.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah.
You better have a fine
I-
touch trying to tune that thing too.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you look at the amateur band, 7 to 8.5 megahertz.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that one, but maybe.
Amateur dash police.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
Hopefully not amateur police.
Yeah,
Hopefully not in.
Look at the 14 megahertz, right?
Oh, yeah. Imagine trying to get a sideband signal.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no BFO on the thing anyway, so.
Yeah, I'm sure this is not, given probably the price point, I'm sure it's not a tricky thing to tune because it's probably an average, but still kind of neat.
You don't think that's vernier tuning, huh?
I don't know. I could, I doubt it. I wish,
Yeah. All good marketing.
but it was kind of
Well,
cool. It was
It
kind of
still
cool.
looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never seen one before. And I said,
Yeah.
okay, this is
The
pretty
leather
neat.
looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks all in. I thought $45 was not unreasonable, especially if it works, especially as it works. I thought, okay.
And the antenna's there.
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
looks clean and tidy. So for 40, it's like, hey, if the thing works, it picks up stations, hey, $45 is more than reasonable.
Yep.
There we go, Charlie McCarthy.
Charlie McCarthy.
Let's see, what was he asking?
Yeah, I was just
670.
wondering.
I think that's 675. Majestic Charlie McCarthy radio 675 is the number I see.
There was no decimal point on that tag.
No, I'm afraid not. I'm afraid
Box out all the cheap radio guys.
Yeah.
But you think per ounce, that's quite quite good return.
But it comes with a donut.
Yeah, you get free donut.
Yes, indeed. Here's a
Oh,
Panasonic.
that's an interesting receiver cassette combo.
Yeah, cassette.
It's probably 80s.
Yeah, I would say so, probably.
I don't quite make out what it says on the speaker though. Is that Jensen? No, Scott.
Yes.
It's a pair of Scott speakers.
What have you got, Bob? An 80-inch monitor?
No, I
Yeah, I know.
I
He's
have
like,
relatively good vision, but John and I use Macs. I've got an 11-year-old MacBook Pro, and one of the things I could do is I could take my mouse pad and do this kind of stuff and
yeah.
either
Yep.
blow it up to like crazy, small things and make them big, and as long as the focus of the photograph is relatively good. So I have that option. I can do it with my machine.
Yeah, they are terrific in that regard. Um, yeah, that was kind of neat though.
Yeah, I've got that on my PC, but boy, I couldn't. Don't go back. Don't go back. That's all right. I couldn't read that label, but it's not
Oh
a
man,
Mac.
Look at all these early vintage, early stuff, early phonographs. Pretty cool, huh?
that is really neat.
There's some fun things there.
I think there's a Edison player there. You see the brass horn on that?
Yeah, I hopefully have a better shot of that later.
Wonder what the little thing with the wires in the front is.
Oh,
I'm sure what that is.
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'll play have a better shot because it's a bad angle.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Oh, reverb amp.
Yeah, that's a different table, I think. That don't think
Yeah.
that's the
No,
same
no,
table.
I was just being
Yeah.
a wise ass.
Yeah. I was gonna say that one you got me on there, Carl. But yeah, that's kind of a neat JVC reverb amp.
What is that whole thing in the center? Is that just a display or
I think it is. I think it lights up in some way. Maybe it allows you to make, but I can't swear to it
yeah.
because this picture was taken with it off. I think it was on later. I think. I think he was that might have been Adam's table, but I can't swear to it.
That would be my guess.
So the display gave you information or something, graphical.
It would probably just you see the switch over to 11 says reverberation time.
Yep.
So I guess as you set up that delay or whatever,
Okay.
you could actually see the waveform.
Yeah,
Okay.
That would be my guess.
I can't remember if I have a picture with it on, but I know he was the seller was playing around with it, and I think he turned it on when he was playing around.
I had a really early reverb accessory for my 1964 Bug, and it literally, you open it up, it literally was a long spring,
Okay.
and that's how they produced the reverb. They fed the audio through it, and
Those old reverbs, especially the Motorola ones that went into like 60s cars
Yep.
and 50s cars, those things, if you find one today, they're worth a lung. They are
I knew you were going to
crazy,
tell me that.
crazy money if you have one.
This
Yeah,
was
those,
an add-on, probably from Ward's or whatever, or what was it, J.C. Whitney?
oh yeah, JC Whitney,
The
sure.
classic J.C. Whitney catalogs I read through my uncle's J.C. Whitney magazines while I was a kid.
Yep.
Oh, I did the same. I used to
All
look
cool
at
stuff.
Are they still around, Bob?
J.C. Whitney's still around, yeah.
Yeah.
that.
They still sell-
You've got a picture of something.
Yeah, they're light shows. I don't know if you could see that.
Oh, there we go. Sure,
Okay.
that's pretty cool.
I had another one, maybe a TIAC at one time that had a different kind of light show, but some kind of thing like that. Anyway.
Oh, thanks, Hugh. Here is something. Let's see. There is. I think the what you call it. Let's see if I can. Oh, come on. It's so hard. You know what? Next time I'm not going to upload the picture to Google first. I'll keep it on my local drive before doing it because it's a lot more sensitive to expanding. Oh, here we go. Let's do it that way. I don't know if we can see a label, a name on there. It's just the contrast there is something there on the dot.
I've got mine blown up too. I can't make that out.
But there's no volume control.
Unless it's on the
Is
side.
it on the side? Yeah.
That would be my guess. But so
I mean, that's possible, but
I think that's the one that has that very deep chassis. It's like 4 inches, and they were a nightmare to work on.
Well, this must have been a relatively recent restoration, but it looks, I mean, like the cabinet and the grill cloth, maybe it looks just like almost
interesting grill cloth.
Yeah, it
like
looks really
painting.
nice.
It's very pretty actually, because
Yeah.
even
It looks wicker. Looks like wicker.
yeah. And even the nice woodwork on the grill cover. Wow, just really
They cut a big hole in one of their seats.
Yeah, there we go.
Looks like a Volkswagen seat.
Yeah, yeah.
Or an old New York City subway car with
Yeah.
wicker on the seats.
That's right. There you go. It's
A
all
little bit of everything here.
Yeah, lots of good stuff.
Look at that thing in the center. That's kind of cool.
Not sure what that is.
Yeah,
It's like one of them 1-tube radios.
It's a crystal set.
No, the thing off to the. Oh, okay, that's 2 pieces off to the left. I thought that was all one piece, but it's.
Oh, okay. These two.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was some neat stuff here to go play around with.
Looks like a Heathkit amp sitting in a table.
Yeah, teeny one.
That was Bruce Mager's table. That's a Heathkit amplifier with a cage.
Yep.
Yeah, some neat stuff there.
Yeah, there sure was.
It's a handsome microphone.
Yeah, I was gonna see that right there.
Interesting motor.
Yeah, what are the bottles? Early Luden jars?
Yeah, look like it.
Yeah, it looked like it. Let's see if I can get. I haven't. If I forget whether I got better photos of these later, but yeah, this is cool.
And that black box, that tube looks expensive. The tip tube, right on top of the behind the heath. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks.
I've never seen that tube before, and with the tip on it, I think it's probably.
Yeah, it's got a little spire on it. So it's a spire. Oh, I see. Now I'm trying to figure out how to use the Google picture interface. I can get this working better now. Cool. Ah, here we go.
That's a nice radio.
That is.
And again, no volume.
GT radio that basically everything is mounted vertically inside the cabinet. So most of the inside of the cabinet on that is just air. It's just a really, really weird radio, but it's a cool radio.
Where's the volume on that?
It's on the side, I think. My memory serves me correctly. It's got one of them really RCA waffly knobs on the side.
Yeah.
It goes with the other one.
Yeah. $40 is more than reasonable.
Yeah.
Looks to be in nice shape. There we go. There's a realistic.
That's an 80s Radio Shack receiver if I've ever seen one.
Couple of pair of Grundig speakers, not quite exactly factory.
Number on it?
But is it
2000D is the model on the Radio Shack
with Dolby.
Yeah,
that had to be from like 81, 82, I'm guessing.
That seems right.
Man, there's some FM stations trying to playing around with Dolby back then, weren't they?
I have fond memories for Radio Shack. That was the first job I got fired from.
How
Long
did they
story.
ever manage to screw it up? I mean,
Long,
they
long
seem to
story.
have
I'll
a,
save it for it's long story. I'll save it for a YouTube video.
Okay. But yeah, I agree. I think we all like I miss having I used to have a Radio Shack 3 quarters of a mile up the street. I used to go there regularly to pick up whatever I needed from there because it was convenient. I really liked walking around, poking around, even as an adult. Even I used to do it all the time as a teenager. I go into the mall or whatever, or whatever the strip mall is, and there'd be a Radio Shack, and I'd be going. I
yeah.
could easily burn an hour there, easily.
And they had, it was not a bad radio in his day.
No, I mean
So
it was not.
It had no chance competing against Lafayette.
I have a soft spot for Lafayette as
I'm
well.
an LRE guy.
Wow, come on, no. I mean, the Radio Shack had far more stores or coverage.
That made the LRE even more special.
Okay, I'm not going to get it.
Well,
I may be under the effects of the neuroneutralizer that I just escaped from.
I do know that the Radio Shack receivers up until I think 79, maybe 80 were still made in Japan.
Yeah.
So do they hold a candle against, well, the Lafayette receivers were a notch better, but it's still about as close to buying, like really high-end audio at a fairly reasonable price. So
I like those Lafayette nested balance bass treble volume knobs. It looked like Rolo candy.
yes, the candy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have fond memories of going to Lafayette store. Then my father would, he'd go, and I'd like to tag along because the stores were also pretty big. There's lots of things to play with there, lots of things and neat stuff. But what makes Radio Shack more unique is I had more other ancillary things that Lafayette didn't have.
I was lucky enough to have Lafayette headquarters a half hour from where I grew up, and that place was wonderful. And I always remember, as you walk in the door, to the left was their bargain room where they like returns were in there, things you could buy cheap. And I one time went in there, I bought a 10-meter from my ham station, a 10-meter beam antenna, 3-element beam for like $25. And it was only missing one piece of metal which I replaced and used that thing for years. But no, they were great over there. And it was wonderful, wonderful going into that store.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure my dad went there, but when we lived on Long Island, but moved upstate New York, then we went to the one in Albany. And that's what Colony, I think, is really what it was. But that is
right now, believe it or not, that property, it's still called Lafayette Street, the side street.
Okay.
And it's Lafayette Road, Street, whatever. But now it's a Home Depot. The whole building is a
figures.
Home
Well, at least it's not a racquetball court.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
TV tube tester.
A TV10, Superior Instruments.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Pretty good shape too.
Wood's in good shape on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Russ was offloading a bunch of his test equipment there.
$60.
Nice graphics. Nice graphics on that.
I do. Yeah, I agree. Very attractive.
I know it may not be as good as a Hickok, but I like the looks of it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
It's still a good, quick, and dirty tube tester, though.
Oh, here's better close up.
Oh,
look at those things.
The one on the right, man, that's awesome.
I love it. West clocks. Now these are wind up. Oh no, wait a minute. Well, no, I don't know. Yeah, there's a power cord behind there. So it is actually a because it's got the power dot. So I see the
oh man, that's awesome.
Maybe it was made by Telecron.
Well, I wonder because Telecron, I was thinking about that. So did Westcott, did they have any like rights to manufacture, or was there, what gets a patent infringement and so forth. I was wondering about that. But this looks like to be like late 40s, maybe 50. But I love those numbers. It's just like, just
Oh, well, the graphic design with the place where that dot is in that circle, that's like really classic, Bauhaus stuff.
Now the hour hand with that circle is magnificent.
Yeah.
Westclock made all the Big Ben things also. Those Big Ben wind up clocks. In fact, hold on here. Let me just do something here. I have a whole display of those Big Bens.
Oh yeah, there they are.
I know. I don't know if you could see it well, but anyway, I must have 10 of them up there. Anyway, I'll just put that away.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool, John. But yeah, that guy had terrific clocks. And this is actually, I've never seen a table with that many clocks in one place in a while. And I guess actually come to think of it, this this must be electric as well as West clocks. So they do see the same red power.
Yeah.
So but this is obviously newer. This one looks to be like, mid to late 50s or something like that, roughly is what I would roughly guess it to be.
I see Hammond to the left there.
In the lower right, is that a coil winder?
Yeah, it's a Morris coil winder. He had a full set, all the gears and everything.
He had cool stuff, that guy. Here we go.
The guy that bought that said he was going to restore it with his son. Who I gather was pretty young. I couldn't find any service data on it though for him.
That was cool though. Nice condition overall.
What's the model number on it? It's like one. It's up at the top.
I think it was up on the top on the right.
Yes, 150. Yeah.
Educational Systems 150.
I don't know.
Just guessing.
Could be.
That might have been for school or something.
That is a good looking little scope.
Yeah, no, it's cool. 5 megahertz bandwidth, good enough for TV, color TV.
That was nice.
3.58 megahertz.
There you go. There you go. Here's a nice looking Emerson. And
is that one of the Ingrams? Or
I wanted to say it is.
Yeah.
Because it has all the look and feel.
It might be, John. I'm not sure.
I think John 75.
A little later on, you've got a picture of a very similar radio, except that it does not have the white pieces inside the dial. I'll be interested to see it again, but it struck me the other day. I don't know if it was also an Emerson, but the dial looked the same without those white, black 6, 6.5, so forth and so on.
I have to think about that one.
Yeah.
It was at the show in the pictures. We'll have to see if we stumble upon it.
Yeah, that's my recollection, but I wouldn't put too much in that.
No, that's okay. We'll keep an eye out because we still have time, but we won't get through all of these. We'll probably slide into the next non-round robin meeting anyway, unless something else comes up. But it's a really nice shape, and I think if this is a restore, I think 75 is pretty reasonable because that's such a pretty looking radio. It's just and if it plays well, I mean, hey, you guys have a really nice piece of knock that's going to look nice on your in your living room.
It's an Emerson, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's odd the way the logo is right over the.
Yeah. I guess they tie the center of the dial face, I guess, roughly.
Yeah, I guess so.
I always like how they use the black line or a yellow line on their radios on the along the front top. It's an extra classiness, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what the word is, but
no, they did that a lot with a lot of their radios. They would like the Patriot radio had the red, white, or the red and blue, or the white and red. I forgot. They had pinstripes, very attractive, just really class job. Oh, here's a Hammond. Took a quick picture of that. Oh, here's a close up.
Okay, here we
There we go.
go.
Here's the True Tone closer up, close up. That's what I thought I had taken a picture. $60. I think, hey, it's in really nice shape.
Yeah, polish
I
it
think
up.
that's a very fair number for that radio.
Yeah.
Those presets are funny. They've got little settings below that show how far up the band they are, huh?
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
That radio 10 years ago went for triple that price sometimes. That
Really?
radio,
Yeah.
shows what's happening to the price of radios.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, because that ribbon band is really quite attractive. Hope we're losing a. Oh, Isaiah, thank you, Isaiah. Oh, there we go. Hey, Isaiah put a. I didn't get a chance to look at some of his posts there, but yeah, I like that ribbon style dial face and all. I wouldn't. I would spend $60 for it. There we go. There is the RK. Yep. Yep. Give the man a cigar there, Bob.
I don't smoke.
But yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's a nice radio. I don't know how much she was asking, but you don't see those very often. Oh, I think these is what caught my eye. I had a couple of these.
Could be the same guy. There's that power supply.
Yeah, it is the same guy, but I try to remember. I think
The cute clock.
I thought I liked it. It said it caught my eye because the glass and this because it looks like, again, just after World War II,
And the power is half off.
yeah. It's your half. You have to decide whether it's your half power on or half power off, depends
Yeah.
on your philosophy. But there we go. There we go. Sorry.
Oh, that's a classic Kenwood.
Sorry, I thought I skipped something. Yeah, that's looks straight out of like, what, mid-70s, early mid-70s. Yeah.
My guess would be late 60s.
I was going to say maybe 68, 69.
Guys may be right. In fact, you probably are. Given sort of the style, you sort of see. Notice the little like three-dimensional stereo light. It's not just your typical. It's got kind of this long tubular.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably a light, but it says it's not hiding anything. It's a solid state right there. So
Yeah, no, yeah. There's no question about that. It's
it's
just
Those
probably
key
like
switches.
a 10, 12 watt a channel receiver.
yeah. But
And
pretty
those
cool.
key switches there on the right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sweet.
it was kind of cool. It's fun.
Why would you have a choice in stereo between right and left? Look at that second knob from the
Yeah.
right.
Oh, in case you wired the speakers wrong, you don't have to change the wiring.
No, because there's also reverse.
It's
There's
almost like
stereo and reverse.
Right.
But now go to the left and you got a choice of right and left.
Oh, you could
Well-
hear just the left channel or just the right channel. So
I
That-
guess
yeah.
so.
and then
Yeah.
that would tell you whether the speakers were in phase or not by the bass response. It would. If
Oh.
you
hey, you don't
you
think
basically take one channel in mono and then it ought to be in the middle of the two speakers unless you had them out of phase.
do you
Oh,
think
okay. Thank you.
is there a
It's pure
chance-
speculation on my part, by the way.
Oh,
I think you're dead on that, Noah.
do you think is like reverb by any chance? Is there any
no, I think it's
No,
reverse.
No, reverse.
really?
Stereo
Yeah,
reverse.
Left, right, reverse. Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to switch the wires. If you
Oh, I get your point. Ah, wow, that's pretty clever. I've never actually remember ever seeing that done
Yeah,
before.
I've seen reverse before, but I've never seen
Yeah.
just a single left or right.
Wow. How unusual.
you don't know which channel has the most bass in it, so you got to pick the channel that's got the most bass so that you can tell whether they're in phase.
Wow.
That
Interesting.
was made for people like me who always wired their speakers incorrectly.
Now, what is auto FM?
Okay.
AFC.
I was just gonna say
Okay.
AFC would strike me as
Okay. All
automatic
right. Yep.
frequency control. Yeah,
Yep.
agreed.
Yep. Got it. Thank you.
And probably when it first came out and didn't work that well, there were probably times you wanted to turn it off.
Yeah, some of those early AFCs were sort of okay, but nothing remarkable.
This boy, you could spend hours just playing with the knobs on this one.
I know.
Oh,
This
yeah.
it's funny. It's a good thing we call it good call, guys, to go, examine this further because it's
You can turn the muting on.
Yeah, you kind of got your organ stops on the right there.
Yeah.
yeah.
The pedals are underneath.
Yeah, there we go. That's cool though. Neat radio. Neat receiver.
Yeah, with the Kenwood Trio logo way over there on the left.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even a headphone jack.
Actually, did we see everything else there to be
Oh,
made?
yeah, we better look in the
You
power
better look at the other
supply.
side.
Those are made by Trio, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess in some countries it'd be the Trio name on it.
Yes, in Japan. Yep. So what are the selections here we got?
Speakers. Let's see. You got power
Oh, you
off.
got two sets of speakers. You have A and B
Power off,
speakers,
A and B,
or both, and then
Or
headphones.
Yeah.
and then phones.
It's interesting. They had a separate headphone switch.
Yeah.
So this thing is controlled only when that's on the headphone.
Well, you could turn the speakers off if you're just listening with the headphones.
Well, so a lot of receivers will have a switch jack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I was used to seeing is the switch jack would just flip it.
Yeah, but that's modern technology. This isn't. This
Yeah.
Well,
modern technology. Come on, it's 1940s, 1930s.
I know.
Telephone switchboard.
Yeah, but you know what? You can only imagine the engineers like sitting in a meeting room debating what all the different features you want to have, what you want to expose. I mean,
phones means phones only. You need a switch position there. You can't just have it done by the jack going in and out.
Yeah, it was marketing insisted on that, right?
Yeah, I was just thinking that, Steve. The marketing guys are, let's go for the tech.
I mean, we got a
Yeah,
five
so
position.
one,
we have a
two,
five
three,
position
four,
switch
five
here.
functions, right?
Yeah, we got a 5-position switch here. We got to do something with that.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of manufacturers probably said, we'll do the switched headphone thing. We're not going to actually expose it this way, but they chose to because they felt they wanted to for various reasons. I remember this is completely sort of mostly unrelated, but I remember I had a 92 Audi, and it had ABS, so early ABS, but it had a switch to turn it off, and apparently the Audi engineers insisted on being able to turn that off under certain conditions instead of just always having it running all the time. So I could turn it off if I wanted to. This beautiful switch in the middle of the center dashboard, beautiful execution, typical tactile feel. But I'm sure those guys you start debating those things in an engineering conference room. Oh, we should really expose it because in certain cases really want it to work this way, and most others wouldn't bother doing it. Those are the kind of things that. But at any rate, back to on topic. Some interesting audio analyzer, resistance indicator.
I don't remember seeing that. I don't know what that thing does.
Isn't that
I was wondering what
isn't
it
that
did.
called an ohm meter? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
early ohm meter.
Which should really say resistance is futile.
That GR counter is kind of nice. It's missing a knob, but it's got you could get those GR counters with 5, 6, or 7 digits, and that one's got the full 7 digits.
Oh yeah. This is a top line version.
Are those
I wish I'd taken it home.
Oh yeah, look at.
I don't know who got it, but somebody did.
But you know what, Steve? It's funny you mentioned that because I find myself looking at the photo saying, "How did I miss that as a potential buyer?"
Be glad. Be
You know,
very
yeah,
glad.
exactly. Well,
We were too busy looking at all the clocks.
well, you
That's
know,
right. Yeah.
the classic story, and because it happened, you may recall, Tom was walking. This is I don't know, probably a year or two ago. Was giving walking through the photos from Friedrichshafen, and you know he's looking at all the photos, and there's lots of stuff on there, and he sees as he's going through and identifying something, the thing goes, "Oh, there's an Enigma case." And you hear the voice of, "How did I miss that?"
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I felt badly for him because he's like, if he, yeah, because you're taking photos and you're looking at the camera, but you just miss what you're really taking, you know, photos of. But
Yeah, a couple of CDE capacitor
yeah.
substitution boxes.
Yeah, I think that one was a cap box and the other one was a resistor box.
I've got those same boxes. They come in handy.
Yeah.
Yes, they
Except that
do.
when I run the resistance through my Fluke VOM, I need to get in there because some of those resistors have drifted way high.
Yeah, no kidding.
But it still gives you a quick relative understanding of what happens.
Yeah, well, not that hard to fix.
Nope.
Easy to
And
go in.
sometimes the magic smoke has come out of that box.
Yeah, see, Heathkit resistance substitution box there too, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot of good stuff
Yeah.
there at that table.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a substitution box. It's not like a load, high power load.
Oh, yeah, you need one of these.
Right,
Oh,
exactly.
Whoa.
The Claristat power resistor decade box.
Oh, wow.
yeah, Steve's got
That's a load.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
My
Okay,
goodness.
more goodies.
It's like a pretty
Pretty
hefty,
pink TV.
pretty
Yeah,
hefty
pink.
mono tube amplifier, it looks like.
Mm.
That GE radio down the left, I was looking at that online. That's so funky. That was their appeal to the Haight-Ashbury
I was
crowd.
gonna say that's gotta
Yeah,
be-
Peter Max. Yeah.
Clock. It says clock in case you didn't know.
Yep. And look at the hand for the
Is that a hand
radio.
pointing to the frequencies?
it's a Haight-Ashbury model.
Hey,
Hey,
Right.
man, I could dig it. I could.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, I don't know what his price was, but that would be fun just for the.
Look at the dial indicator. It's
Yeah,
like a
is that
finger.
cool? The
Yeah.
finger.
Yeah.
It says radio
Yeah.
clock radio.
The fickle finger of fate.
Well, at least it's pointed. The pointer finger, not the other finger.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Man, I didn't notice that at the show. That's wild.
yeah,
It may have gone quick.
yeah. Oh man, are you kidding? If you have a late
Oh,
67
if I had
series
come
house-
across that, I'd definitely be taking it home. I mean, as long
Yeah.
as
You know, you buy that, then you buy that other thing with the spacey display and just sit around stoned all day listening to music and
Yeah.
watching the display. Retirement's good.
Yeah, that's for sure, huh? There we go. The Fisher, the little amplifier there.
yeah, mono.
That's a monoblock.
Monoblock, but it's a good one. You need two of those.
Arvin.
Look at the size of that audio transformer. It's going to be a good one.
Yes, indeed.
The Fisher.
Some good, cool stuff here. You just look at those, like, you know, the details. Like, wow.
What's that thing from Paris?
I know. I was looking at that.
I think it's a crystal set.
Interesting. Beautifully designed.
Is that a Arvin
Yeah, right
radio
here.
to
The center here.
It's a rare radio ashtray.
the?
Does it say Harley Davidson on the thing next to it?
You know, I think
Blow my
you're right. I'm at maximum, but I think you maybe, it looks like the colors of it, they use orange. It would not surprise me if it is.
That's like a Harley dwell meter
Wait,
or something.
wait, hold on
I
a
think
second.
that's brass. I don't think that's
Dar,
orange.
It's
it's
not
no,
Harley
it's not.
Davidson.
No,
It's
it's not. DARS.
oh, that's the French guy. Or the company that made certain meters. They're yeah. I can't
Yeah,
remember
this
the
is.
name.
But you always
Frederick
caught me.
Frederick Darsenval, is that his
Some,
name?
Something like that. Yeah.
yeah, boy, at first class, you're right because I saw orange. I said, "Wow, maybe it is Harley Davidson." I never heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Charlie
Atwater Kent started out making spark coils.
Charlie
yeah.
Parallax was the guy's name.
Whoop.
There are those jars again.
Yeah.
Get some neat stuff. That Magnavox AF amplifier there.
Yeah.
That would be a sweet thing to have in my lab. But
Yeah.
man,
Sweet,
wasn't cheap.
expensive, sweet and expensive.
I like the microphone behind it.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's probably $1,000, I'm sure, or more.
Yeah. Yeah. He has some cool stuff though. If you want some like really niche early electronics, but this is a guy to see.
Yeah.
Is that a Leiden jar?
I think so.
That's what that's what I think.
Yeah.
You know the guy's name?
I can't remember. He's brought similar stuff like that before.
Isn't that Bruce?
I think it's
Mager?
Bruce. Isn't it John?
Yeah, I
Bruce
think
Phillips?
it's Mager. He brought all that stuff with him. I'm pretty sure.
He was at our swap meet as well. Because I recognize a lot of this stuff.
I see.
Like, yeah, that somebody talking before about that tube amp with the black cage around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He brought all that stuff. He charges top dollar, and his clientele will pay top dollar for this stuff.
Well, yeah, if you got
Bruce is the guy that sold my friend that the AK-10 breadboard.
Well, if I ever run across every few years something expensive and I don't want it, I sell it to Bruce because he'll come over with the cash. No question. Then he'll triple his money.
Yeah, there you
someone
go.
else, you know.
I wonder what that brass thing is up in the upper right.
Oh, this one here?
Yeah. Nope. There you go.
Is that wood or?
That's wood.
Yeah, I guess it is wood. Yeah. It does look like brass though initially, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's wood.
Yeah.
You can see the graining and the not sure though.
But I wonder if that's a coil. I'm looking at all the little clip
oh yeah,
terminals. I wonder if that's a coil and that's a crystal radio of some sort.
That could be.
2 for the phones, 1 for the antenna, 1 for the ground.
Yeah, you may be right.
Could be.
Does seem to align. This is a really attractive video.
Great dial.
Yeah, pretty ornate dial face.
But I don't know who makes it. It's like, it's really attractive.
It says something radio. I don't know.
Can you get closer?
I'm at max.
I've brought mine in as far as I can make it. The right says radio. I can't make out the other one.
Yeah.
The one on the left.
That's a fancy.
It's just a really cool looking radio, though.
It does. It says kilocycles. I'm trying to see what they goes with that. I took this with my Olympus because I used the flash. I could see the flash back behind.
Looks like two bands. Yeah.
It might be general radio. That would be my guess, but I don't know. I know the right says radio.
You know, I like the dial and I like the cabinet, but I don't like the looks of the dial and the cabinet together. Something just.
That's funny.
Like very ornate in a very plain box.
Yeah, I know. And maybe it needed a little more.
Say, Carl, your thoughts are it's a Franken radio?
You know, that wouldn't. It almost seems like that dial should be above that stripe. I don't know.
Maybe you're right. That's what we.
It would look better if they hadn't shined up the bezel. Huh?
Yeah.
And it has generic knobs on it. Those aren't anything fancy.
Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is sort of like a homebrew thing.
And where's the speaker? Out one of the sides, or
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I
why
don't.
don't you
Well, it's
take
got
these
the
and
book match veneer though. That's nice.
Yeah, the
Yep.
veneer. I mean, it's
Yeah, the veneer is nicely done. It's just some the proportions.
or somehow the manufacturer thought some people would like it, and a lot of people felt the same way you guys are, and not many were sold. And here we go.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, based on the fact that nobody can identify it, that tells you something. Though there's a little way down in the bottom of the dial. There's some other
Yeah,
writing.
I see that script. I cannot make it out. I see it way at the bottom, that black.
New
And
York.
yeah, that might say New York. I could almost believe it says New York, but that's
Made in USA.
Oh,
Maine, USA. Okay, there we go. You can see that. Yeah.
all right. Well, then that doesn't that put it after World War II? Because that's when that became a requirement.
Really?
I didn't know
In
that.
fact, supposedly Japan named one of its small islands Yusa. I've heard, I can't prove it, but that's what I heard to kind of get around that.
Interesting.
It's funny the pointer's not centered, right?
Yeah, it's
The,
really an odd. Yeah, that's a really good point there, Steve. It's an unusual
Yeah.
unit. I mean, it's sort of very ornate, almost like a clock.
Is it two band? I mean, is it
Yes.
Yes.
cover
Yeah.
2.5
Looks
through
like it-
6?
Yeah, it's a
Well,
lower.
it
one
probably
band.
covers from just above 1600.
Hmm.
It's a two-band radio because you can see there's the dial pointer for the lower band.
It looks like the shortwave band goes up to about 7 meg, and then
Yeah. Yeah, I
craps
wonder
out before it
why
gets
the
to 40.
shortwave band covers such a small part of that. Why not just bring it down to 2 or 7 on the other end?
Yeah,
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
maybe yet another reason why they didn't sell many. Still neat. It's the mystery radio.
Yep.
If I ever see the person, if it's still available for sale, and if the person is at Brooklyn, I'm gonna have to ask more about this thing. Because now
Yeah.
inquiring minds need to know.
What are you selling?
Exactly. What is this thing? Is this one of one?
That's nice looking.
Yeah, those E200Cs are nice signal generators.
What's the number on top there he's got for that?
45, I think is the number I think I see.
Yeah.
Looks like it. Yeah.
That's not unreasonable.
That's a good generator.
That's the early version. The later version, well, no, I'm sorry. That's the later version. The early version had square corners.
You can inject AVC voltage into the system.
Yes, that's one of the real big features of this thing.
Wow.
They made a big deal out of it. They claimed that you shouldn't, unlike most modern advice, they said you shouldn't align for the most sensitive, least input to the IF or to the radio.
Yeah.
You should align for whatever the average signal level is.
Okay.
So you want to clamp the AVC line for what the average signal level is. And so that's what the bias there is.
All right.
And then you tune it for tweak the RF and IF for the max AF output.
Yep.
At that AVC level.
Cool. That's a nice.
They wrote a big book about it.
Actually, speaking of Elmhurst, that's where it was made. I mentioned that earlier. Queens had a lot of radio manufacturing related.
Oh yeah, how about that?
Yeah,
Elmhurst.
Do you know what the RFC control does?
Which one?
Upper left, RFC control. I know it below it is the RF control. I would guess that's the output.
No, they had
Probably
two.
RF
They had
control.
attenuators for the RF output.
Oh, okay, RF control 1, RF control 2. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. So instead of switches for the one and then continuous one for the second, they had two pots.
It's all about productivity.
So it's a very simple circuit, but surprisingly, I have one in the dial. They I forget what they advertised for the dial accuracy, but they would give you like a hand calibrated chart for the dial that was 1% accurate in the instruction book, and
Wow.
they used the tuning capacitor must have been Invar or something because they're nuts on.
Neat. Cool. Ah, here's a photo. The Castleton. Big bucks.
Nice caramel color.
Yeah, butterscotch caramel. Yeah, indeed. Nice, really, really, really nice shape and probably
John,
really
are they still collectible or they kind of fallen off too?
well. I mean,
I was looking for John
oh,
Cummers.
sorry. Is he still on?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What?
Are the Catalans still collectible or are they?
Well, I think the prices dropped like
Yeah.
most radios. But if you have some really, as this one, the one we're looking at now, if you had like, the blue ones and the red ones are still commanding the money, but
Okay.
but the price overall has dropped on a lot of this stuff. Someone a few 10 years ago they would have paid $1,000
Yeah.
for that
Yeah.
thing, and now it's probably half that price.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
well,
what
guys,
were those
sorry, go
mirror
ahead.
radios that
Oh, the Spartans that
the Spartans? Yeah,
I'll we'll have to see those photos of the next meeting, but George had two of them. He brought
yeah,
the blue one, and he also had the copper one.
the
I
peach. Yeah,
Yeah, and unfortunately I was taking all these photos, walking around. When I finally got to George, the cobalt one left already with the new buyer, with the new owner, before I could take photos. So I was really bummed. But I think I've taken photos of a cobalt one some time ago. So this is maybe the second cobalt I've seen, but I've never seen a copper one. I took plenty of photos of the copper one because I've never seen one. And honestly, I love the copper color more. So in a way, that's fine. Given the choice between the two, I'd go with the copper. But George sold both. The copper was just the buyer came a little bit later, and nice radio.
there's a
Good for
blue
him.
one at the MFA.
Is there?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's still out there, but I saw it once.
Oh, that's cool. I know. I don't think I've ever seen it there, but I haven't been to the MFA in a while, so but
They also had the I forget what it's called, the round one.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Oh
the
yeah.
mirror one with the radio in the middle, the
Yeah,
dial face right in the middle. Yeah, the Spartan. I saw one at one of our prior. I think it was Radio 50 or 49 when it was back at the courtyard. There was someone selling an original one. They also made the knockoff, one by
yeah.
which is still fun to see. It's not a ridiculous. It's not an unreasonable job, but well, guys, I think I should probably let you guys go because it's pushing 9:45 here. And well, I'll just remember this is the last where we left off. And the next meeting will be round robin anyway. I can always show a few photos. I have nothing much to share, but on my own side. But in fact, I'll just stop here. But hey, it was a terrific meeting as always.
Good meeting. Thank you, John.
Great to have you
Yeah,
guys.
thanks.
Yeah,
You
good
bet. A
stuff.
lot of
Thank
fun
you, John.
talk. And you guys enjoy. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. So enjoy. The weather's improving. So we're getting there. So,
We still have snow.
oh, wow. Do you?
Dude,
Oh, boy.
I got some in my yard.
Stop laughing.
How much so you still have there, Carl? Oh, we lost. Did I lose him? Yeah, he dropped off. All right, guys.
All right.
You take care.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.